Okay, Anne-Marie, if you don't mind reading the mission statement.
Sure. Welcome, everybody. It's lovely to see so many faces. We have 20 today. I'll read the mission statement for Helping Parents Heal. Helping Parents Heal is a non-profit organisation dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. We welcome everyone regardless of religious or non-religious background and allow for open dialogue. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. And this will be recorded, and unless anyone contacts me, it will be posted on YouTube and made public. If anyone has a problem with that, just contact me and we can certainly make the video private. Okay, I'm going to read Kelley Worth's bio. I came to know Kelley a couple months ago. Our girls connected us. I would say through Mark Pitstick first and then through Shelley Wilson. They were obviously trying to get us together, and that has been a really great thing for me because I've really enjoyed being your friend, Kelley, and we like pulling cards for each other, and our girls have a really close connection, so that's been really validating. So let me read this. Kelley is a classically trained mental health clinician. She practiced for 20 years in various group practices, inpatient and outpatient programs. She offered support and healing to families and adolescents in individual sessions and group work. When she and her husband were blessed with a child, she retired. They were moved to North Carolina to live a more sustainable lifestyle, and Kelley chose to be a stay-at-home mom. Rob and Kelley had 16 years of love, life, and adventures with their daughter, Aaliyah Jade. In May of 2022, Aaliyah transitioned herself to seek relief from PTSD and depression. In the wake of the pain of their only child, their vibrant daughter leaving, she started searching for answers about what happens next. In that journey, she was led to find Suzanne Giesemann and her work, which led to finding Helping Parents Heal. This is where her healing began. Learning to live in her grief and learning to strengthen her soul connection to her beautiful daughter. It is the continuing support and proof that HPH offers that led Kelley to want to start a group in North Carolina. Okay, thank you, Kelley, for coming and showing us how to make mandalas. Take it away.
Great, thank you. So I just have to say this because Alea's making sure it's Alea.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alea.
Okay, she's picky about her name, but y'all have to give a Hawaiian lei, and that's how you remember. So I'm grateful that you asked me. I was so excited to see this group even start. I've been doing I'm not a certified art therapist, but I've been using expressive art activities forever with clients, right? So when I saw this group, I was like, yeah, that really makes a lot of sense in my paradigm and my learning. I did like a beta testing group, maybe last fall or summer with about 10 moms from HPH, and it was all about grief and mandalas, and it was just the coolest experience. And some of those moms are on the call tonight with us that were involved in my group, so thank you for the support. Yeah, so I've been a part of HPH since I think maybe February of 2023, where I got to go see Suzanne Giesemann do Mediumship Plus, and I got to meet Irene as well. And Irene, I went up to her, I said, I think I might want to start a group. I have some group experience. There was no group in North Carolina, which was shocking to me. So that's where I started. So I guess here's what I think. I hope that to everyone, and there's that kitty cat, Christy. I'm excited to see the kitty cat. I love that cat. Did everyone bring hi, sweetie. Did everyone bring something to help them create some sacred space? So something sacred, you did, great. And you don't need to have that, but I'm all about like transitional objects and having things to center me. So we're just gonna start with a 2-minute deep breath kind of exercise. So I'm gonna set my phone to 2 minutes, I think. And just kind of breathe, center yourself. If you want to clear your chakras, do however you do, but just center and how you connect. So we're going to do that starting now. And I will stop us at the end of 2 minutes. So, and 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. Thank you, everyone, for just taking a couple of minutes to center ourselves. I think we're just going to get right into this. I'm hoping we can do more than one tonight. So I'm going to ask you to think about just an intention you have for your mandala or mandala. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I've always said mandala, so I'm going to go with that. An intention is your intention for healing, is your intention for connection, is your intention for insight, is your intention for mindfulness. Just kind of get maybe 30 seconds to think about what that might be. Or if you have a connection with your child that's already here, because Alea has popped in for sure, and tell me what my intention is for this evening. But have that intention close. And if you can't think of one, that's okay. Maybe your intention is just to be open, to try something new. Okay. All right. So why don't everyone grab your paper and your media of choice. I have an art cart behind me full of all kinds of stuff. I'm working from my office this evening, so I get to have all these great things at my fingertips. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a few of mine that I've done. And I got to say, since I decided to do the group, I've been practicing more, and I've really forgotten how much I love to do them. So this has been a great exercise for myself as well. So I'm just going to show you, for some of you, I'm assuming everyone has probably seen a mandala at some point in their life, and they look very different. But I'm going to show you some of the ones that I have done because I saw Christy do this with her neurographic art presentation, and I really appreciated that she showed an example. I'm a visual learner. So as you're getting your supplies ready, I'm going to move my webcam to look down on my desk. So here's one example. Hold on, there we go. Okay. And this is Alea Jade, my sacred space. Yeah. She's playing the guitar. She was a vocalist and a guitar player. Here she is. This is one example. This is a hand-drawn mandala. This is not using the grid, but we're going to do 2 different techniques tonight. Another example. Another example, this is one that I've just started doing that I just use pencil, and that's brand new for me. So that was a little uncomfortable, but I like the detail of it. I'm going to show you a few more. This is an example of a mandala. That's neurographic art. This is an example of one of the ones that we're going to do that's going to be really expressive as far as not the traditional one. Yeah, I know. It's fun to look at different ways. Here are some of the ones we did in our group last fall in the mandala group. And there's this one. This is a watercolor mandala. But we closed our eyes and used watercolors to create this. That was an exercise in control and perfectionism, or shall I say releasing perfectionism. This one was a connection exercise that we did with the kids. And this one was a nature mandala. So I guess what I hope happens is that everyone really just decides to feel comfortable, right? I promise you, you're not going to do this wrong at all. This is really about whatever you want to express. If you have an intention, I would ask you to write it somewhere at the top of your page. And I'm doing this upside down, so it's a little awkward, but it's a new experience. So we'll see what happens. I think the first thing we're going to do is do a traditional mandala with kind of a grid technique. When you're doing this, let's just draw. Everyone grab whatever you're going to use. I'm going to use some Sharpie, fine marker Sharpies. And I'm just going to start this way. If you want a ruler, can you see it? Okay. If you need a ruler for a straight line, go for it. If you're okay with not having one, go for it. I don't need a ruler. And my lines aren't perfectly straight. But somewhat, right? It's gonna look like this. Okay. And literally all you do to start, and I think people are gonna overthink this. I'm gonna ask you to not overthink this and just flow with it. I often do mandala work when I'm listening to music or if I'm outside, but you literally just make some patterns. Do you see how I did that? You just connect this line. I'm going to make this and I'll show you guys what it looks like. There's my first part of the mandala. That's it, folks. And you don't have to copy mine, but whatever you want to make, you can. Okay. The quadrants kind of help people get their symmetry in line. I don't always use quadrants, but if I'm feeling kind of anxious or I want it to look a certain way, to be honest, I use the lines then. So you can now just start adding whatever you want. So one example would be to add petals. Like 3 petals. And just try and have that be consistent through the other 3 quadrants.
Kelley, are you using different colors or are you using the same color?
I'm just using the same color just for this right now.
Okay.
You can use different colors for here's the thing, there are no rules, right? You can do a mandala in all one color. You can do a mandala in 67 colors. It's whatever you feel drawn to. You just keep repeating the pattern in all four quadrants. So I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to pick it up so you guys can see it. Right? It's not fancy, but that's it. So just start thinking, what else do I like? Do I want to put triangles on next? Or I'm going to put squares. I'm feeling drawn to put lines like this out, right? It can be anything. And if your left side of your brain is saying, oh, yuck, I don't like that. And if you're using a pencil, you have a choice to erase it, but I'm going to ask you to not erase it and trust, right? So I added there 3 lines on top of all of my little, they're called petals in the world of mandala, right? So what if we just spend, let's say 5 minutes, and I'm just going to do mine, y'all do yours, and then we'll just kind of catch up and we'll go from there. And just flow. One piece of advice I would have you do as you're doing the mandala is as you are making your marks, make 1 mark at a time, only focus on 1 mark at the time, and rotate, right? It's easier to rotate as you draw. The orientation just helps. Sometimes when I'm doing these, there are certain phrases or thoughts that come to my mind, and I write them all outside of the mandala so I don't forget them. So if a memory comes to your mind or a thought, even a grocery list, right? It's okay just to remove that from your brain and just put it on paper. And remember to rotate as you're doing your quadrants. So you literally turn your pad of paper. There. Anyone here ever watched Bob Ross? Do you remember the painter Bob Ross? He had some saying that it wasn't a mistake, it was a happy little, who remembers that? Anyone or not? I remember, you remember, I don't know what it was, but it was like
Accident.
Happy little accident, right? I feel the same way with this work. So this is kind of what I'm doing so far. I've never drawn hearts in a mandala ever. So, I'm drawing them right now in the middle of a helping parents meeting. I don't think that's an accident, right? Remember, keep turning the orientation as you're working on it, 1 mark at a time. It's okay. Everything is okay. But if you feel, sometimes I feel drawn to put like marks inside of the shapes, either dots or stars or just lines, just to give it whatever it needs. If you want to color in some of your shapes, that's absolutely, like, again, everything is okay. Everything you do is okay. And you just keep creating patterns as you go out. That's what the grid is for. Your mandala can be as big or as small as you like. So here's what mine looks like so far. And if you're able to, if you're used to working with like somatic feelings, like really being in your body and noticing where you're feeling things. If when you're doing a mandala, you notice a somatic feeling, uncomfortable or comfortable, maybe consider writing that down somewhere in this part right here, right? I often date my mandalas. I often write a little note about what has happened during the day. Excuse me. I'm going to mute while I cough. Your mandala is going to be perfect if it's full of shapes and forms and colors. That's it. Shapes and forms and colors of your choice. They can be big shapes, they can be small shapes. You can choose to mix and match your media. So if you like markers, maybe try some pastels together. If you like watercolor, maybe throw in some acrylics and just see kind of what happens with it. Here's my continuing project. Sometimes people get a little bit stuck on if everything doesn't match. If it doesn't match on your lines right here, just make it match. It's okay, right? And why don't we spend maybe like 3 more minutes on this one, and then we'll take questions if we have them. And then I would love to actually offer another kind of mandala that's definitely more, well, in my opinion, it's more intuitive, less traditional. Remember to keep turning the orientation. And it's okay to smile when you do this as well. Hmm. Hmm. Let's take 1 more minute, and then we can, if anyone is willing to share or ask any questions about the process. This is mine so far. And mine's done, for sure. I feel it's complete. I love seeing everyone work on this. This is absolutely so fun to see everyone just working on it. Okay, let's stop wherever you are. It's okay where you are. I'm going to, this is my finished product, super abstract, right? My intention was to just receive a message. And some of you, those that know me on here, know that I pull cards every day. And my cards today were about clarity and a new path and all kinds of big things that are scary to me right now in my world. So my intention as I was doing this came to me, and it says, step out. So this mandala for me was about expansion and stepping into my path. I don't know what my path is all the time, but I trust that I'll know, and I'll trust that I have guidance. So perhaps when I figure out what the next step is for me, it'll come back. Okay, I'm gonna move the camera back up to my face if that's okay, sorry, that was my phone, should be off. I apologize. And if anyone is willing to share or ask questions, I would love it. If not, that's okay too.
I'll just start. I'm going to just show, this is mine. And I want to show you what I wrote. It's going to be backwards probably, but I wrote clarity.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So if anybody would like to share, or I guess raise your hand, and we will unmute you, and maybe you can share what you felt when you were doing it, or maybe show your picture. Anyone?
Kathy looks like she wants to show.
Okay, mine said to release creativity from within, and I don't know if you can you see mine?
Yes.
Okay. So I felt a little rushed here. And also I tend to have like kind of OCD and actually one of the reasons why I like doing mandalas in the coloring book versus other coloring books is because everything is very symmetrical. Like, you do this color here and it goes all the way around. And so mine is not so perfect looking, but life is not perfect, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. I think yours is perfect for this evening. When I do work with clients, so my job outside of a facilitator, I'm a therapist. So when I have a really anxious clients, I give them coloring pages because doing something like this will send their anxiety through the roof. So whatever helps you feel safe and calm and to express, allowing your solar plexus, right? Because that's where creativity is, the confidence, and then our sacral chakra. Girl, you just go. If it's a coloring book today, if it's not, tomorrow. Thank you, Elizabeth. Anyone else willing to share or ask a question about that more traditional aspect of creating a mandala?
Judy, I unmuted you.
Hey. Yeah, I haven't actually done much since, for a while. I've just a lot of stuff going on. Plus, the 3rd year Spiritversary is September 1st. So I'm trying not to remember that it's coming and my body knows it. So I had no intention, basically. His color is blue, navy blue. Geez, surprised with the hair, what I did that for this month. So it's like I said, it's acrylic paint. So you can't do a lot next to each other, but I don't know. Can you see it?
Yeah.
That's as far as I got. Like I said, because it's not like markers. I can move so much more, you gotta wait till stuff dries. But that's as far as I got. And that actually is our colors. Mine is purple, and his twin's color. He's got a twin left on Earth, who also has a thing that killed his twin. His is green. So a lot of my stuff seems to just gravitate towards the purple, green, blue peacock combination,
Can you show it again? May I see it again, please? Yeah, the first thing that came to my awareness was all together now. And you're talking about those colors, and the first thing that I literally sensed
yeah, because that's very, very dark blue. That's not black. But yeah, that makes sense because one of the things on my back wall with the peacock feathers, I've always felt us to be it's the 3 of us. I have a child that's 10 years older, but because of that age thing, but yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I just, again, this is a suggestion. If the next one we're gonna actually make a circle, at some point consider making a circle and drawing your own peacock feathers. If that resonates with you,
yeah,
draw them in those colors.
And doing these things also does a little trigger because they were always my yin yang twins. They were like totally opposite of each other, but they really were like twin power unite thing. When they worked together, he just like lit the frick up, and
Well,
so that makes sense that it's like a unit because it was always like.
did she freeze, or is it just me?
I think she froze. Oh,
Okay.
there she is.
Okay.
Amy,
think
did
Judy-
you want to say something?
Who else? We also want to share real quickly, and then we'll try and move the next one.
So
I
it was
know there's
this,
some mama bears from my group in here too. Go ahead.
so I didn't have an intention. I have not done the art yet, but I've always drawn to art. So, but what you said was, if do you feel anything as you're drawing? And that's exactly what was happening, which was really cool. So I feel like I'm on another another growth period, and I'm going through some transitions. So what was really cool, I'll just show you.
I'd love to
So
see it.
what was cool for me, I don't know if you can see it with this light, but I was getting that I was drawing in the center, and I know you can't quite see it with this light in this space I'm in, was a third eye that I was getting all of a sudden, the third eye with understanding. And then in the end, it felt to me like I drew a crucifix, that the shape, the whole shape was a crucifix, and that to trust my third eye and the crucifix with the faith. And then I started doing yellow, and I know you can't see a highlighter coming out with like the Holy Spirit. So it just, I had this amazing, just full of faith and uplifting feeling. So that was really cool, because I didn't write down an intention. All of a sudden I was like, oh God, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. This feels so awesome. So thank you.
Yeah, I saw a solar plexus too in that yellow in the middle there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And here's the thing, the one thing that my Reiki healer told me when I struggled so much in month 6, 7 after Leah left was, she goes, Kelley, if you don't start creating, you're not going to make it. And she was right. So I then dived into pottery and art journaling, and I was just, when you're feeling stuck in your human grief, right? Create.
Absolutely.
Right?
So
Do a
that
mandala.
was so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. You ready for the next? We have time for another one.
Yes, we
Okay.
do.
Let's get your blank page, please. And this one's gonna, for those of you, I will have a, so right now I'm super activated. Alea's, I hear her giggling because she knows this is going to test the perfectionists in the group and those that like to have things in order, because there's nothing orderly about this one. So are y'all ready? Good. So I want you to draw a circle with whatever media you want to. And I'm going to move my camera down. Eventually. Hang on. There we go. So let's just draw a circle. There's my circle. It's not perfect. It's freehand, right? You can make your circle big or small. Size does not matter. Okay. So now I'm going to have you take, again, whatever you want to use. I want you to take a deep breath in. And here's the part. I want you to close your eyes. Well, hold on. I want you to put your writing utensil in the middle of the circle. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out. Close your eyes. And I want you just to make whatever kind of scribbles or marks in that circle until I tell you to stop. 1, 2, 3, go. And stop. Look down. Right? Bunch of scribbles. But now I want you to kind of look at it and see if any shapes stick out or speak to you. I want you, if the answer is no way, nothing speaks out to me, I want you to turn your pad of paper every single way, every single direction. Okay? Keep turning. You will, with some orientation, you will feel drawn to pick a shape and color. And when you do, just start. And sometimes people start with outlining a certain shape, and I'll show you on here. I have the great big fat, big Sharpies. So that part just spoke to me, right? And I'm gonna color it in. Or you can make lines, you can make triangles, you can fill it with bubbles, it doesn't matter. And just keep picking shapes, right? That's my first shape. That's my scribble, completely scribble, right? You can use the same color, different color, completely up to you. If you feel like asking your kids, what should I color? What parts? Do it and see what they say. So when I do this technique, I can rarely see a shape after the scribble. So I just start coloring and things tend to pop out as I color. So don't feel bad or that you're doing something wrong if you don't see a shape. Just start coloring some of the shapes. So here's mine so far. Very basic, right? I'm just coloring in shapes. I saw nothing as like, I didn't see a dolphin, I didn't see a star, I saw nothing. I'm just gonna start coloring. So here's what mine looks like so far. And I'm going to change the orientation of how I'm looking at it. So I'm going to look at it from this angle now. It's just something to experiment with. Switch it up a little bit. And like the other one, if while you're doing this, thoughts come into your awareness or somatic substitutions come into your awareness, consider writing them down in the edges in this part. Like two just came to me very clearly, so I'm gonna write them down. And I have no idea why one of them is coming up. It's really weird, but maybe there'll be something in the group that makes sense. And again, like the previous one, if you feel like you want to change your media midstream, please do. If you're able to have like an art kit handy, try some pastel. Try some watercolor pencils. Those are fun. I've just learned about those. They're pretty cool. And let's take about 4 more minutes. And I don't my mandala work is never this quick, is what I will say. So it's, if you feel rushed, it's expected. But if you do it on your own time, you take as much time as you need. And like the previous one, I would ask you to trust that you'll know when you need to stop. It doesn't have to be completely colored in. Empty space is okay. Hmm. Let's take about 1 more minute. Catherine, I would say no longer than 30 seconds. That's how I've done it. That's how I was trained to do it. Just 30 seconds. And do your best to keep your eyes closed. It can be a challenge to do that. People are afraid of going outside the lines. The odd thing is, people rarely go outside the line. I have no idea why. It's just my experience. So why don't we go ahead and stop? I'm gonna share mine, and if there's any, I would love to hear impressions of mine, because I think it's hysterical. So this is what, and if those can see it,
Can you do it? Put it a little bit closer, maybe?
how's that? Better?
It's better.
So as I was doing this, I heard Christmas, and I heard Harley Quinn. I don't know why, but I do know that this is colorful, like Harley Quinn. Those that know who Harley Quinn is.
Can you tell us who Harley Quinn is?
I don't, here's the thing. I don't know if she's Marvel or DC, but she's in like those superhero movies. And she's a pretty vibrant, strong, vivacious character, a bit violent as well. But yeah.
Joyce, are you there? I know that Joyce's daughter is into
Yeah.
marble.
Yeah, that's DC and she's with the Joker usually.
Yes, yeah. I can't keep those things straight. So, anyone else want to share their, because there's one more piece of this I would just love for us to try, which is, yeah, okay. Thank you, Judy. Look at the hearts. When you have more time, and if we want to, I can post it in the group, is that you get to ask this thought form, is what I'm going to call it, questions. And you ask the thought form, what do you want me to know? And you may get an answer, you may not, but if you do, it's just something to explore. And again, this was super rushed, right?
This one
Really
kind of-
fast.
This kind of reminded me of the neurographic art, the second one. Yeah.
Like automatic writing, yes. I mean, there's 5 questions that I can post maybe in the group afterwards, because I don't have my keyboard in front of me now because I need all the space to create. But there's 5 kind of questions about, I would say insight development is the best way I can say that. So
That would be great.
I can do that.
We'll post that after.
Okay. That is a crash course lesson in mandalas. I will say you can even, if people like to Google and do those things, hold on. And I probably can't find what I was looking for, of course. But if you Google mandala patterns, you may even find practice sheets to help you learn how to draw petals or certain kinds of designs. There's a lot of things out there. Some of us, I like to do calligraphy sometimes, and I like the calligraphy practice sheets. There are mandala pattern practice sheets you can do as well. Sarah, you asked your daughter questions and I did it. And you got 4 responses. So I know, and I believe Sarah daughter, her name is Ella, Sarah, I think. Yeah. So when did the group last fall? I had 2 parents connect with their kids using this technique here. And they had not connected prior to their children. So it may not work for everyone. I think everyone, I think what I've learned, the biggest thing I learned from helping parents heal is you just have to find your own way to connect. Some people use cards, some people can connect immediately, like Suzanne uses the shift, automatic writing, pendulum work. This is just one more way that you can connect perhaps to your higher self or to your kiddos. Cool. Any questions about anything or anyone want to share? I know it was a lot and fast.
So I'll just share, I was, this last exercise, I didn't see anything at first, and so I started randomly coloring in just different squares, and I saw the fish. And a fish is a huge sign from my son. So it was awesome. Thank you.
Mason's in the house.
Yeah,
I'm grateful for that, Robin.
thank you.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Kelley, this has been so great. I think anything you can do to be creative, even, no matter what it is, whether it's actually doing art or, you're gardening or cooking, anytime you explore that, dive into that creativity, I think you are, you're connecting to source, which in turn is connecting with your child. And I appreciate you giving us these tools to just another way to connect with our kids, and maybe we don't connect with our kids, but we just get a mini meditation or a break from something that we're worried about, which is something that we all need.
I think this is also a very great mindfulness exercise. And if for people, I have a lot of clients that come in, they struggle with meditating. And besides, I have them do the 3-minute meditation. We start with these just to bring them back into their bodies. Right. So, I don't know, go buy an art journal, or if you have one, fill it up. Your solar plexus loves to express, and I'm just grateful y'all let me come on and get out of our left brain. Karen, girl, you're not kidding. I mean, and here's the thing. I've done mandala work when I'm a mess. And do I feel a lot better when I come out? My vibration will rise and I may see something. So yeah, I agree.
Carol, let me unmute you.
I was just going to share, because when she said she saw a fish, I looked at mine and I saw a butterfly, which I turned it all around, and a butterfly is a huge sign for me with my son. I have a butterfly tattoo on my ankle. So.
Okay. I love that you reminded me, if you don't see anything and you're just like, what is that mess? Turn. Or if you have someone you trust, say, what do you see? Have them step back and hold it for you so you can look at it from a bigger perspective. You might be surprised what pops out. Thank you for sharing that. Amy has,
Well, I was going to say the same thing as Carol at the very last minute. I saw a heart. I had a heart, which is my sign with McKellar. Christine knows that. I got a big heart. I was like, yes. And you probably won't see it if I hold it up, but Christine knows that. I was like, oh my gosh, McKellar, awesome. So thank you. I've learned so much. I can't get over it. This is really cool.
And again, I would encourage you to explore it on your own. What I presented is just be confident that you can do this no matter what it looks like. It's about the process. And I'm going to have to meditate to see what Harley Quinn means to Alea. So I have no clue. So if anyone gets any signs, let me know. And I will, Chrissy, do you want me to send you those questions, those 5 questions for this one?
Sure. Why don't you send them to me and I'll post them when we post the video.
Okay.
I just want to send a little reminder to everyone, for those who are new and maybe don't know, if you go on our Facebook page and you go to the featured section, I have pinned our previous meetings. And so you can go back and watch some of those. Joyce did a beautiful presentation last month on taking pictures of her daughter's belongings. And then I've done a tutorial on neurographic art. So those are on there, and we will post this video shortly after we are done with our meeting. Does anyone have any more questions or anything they'd like to add before we leave? Don't see anything. Thank you, Kelley, so much for coming. This has been wonderful, and I appreciate everybody coming to the meeting tonight. It's good to see everyone, and please feel free. We would love to see your work that you've done posted on our Facebook page so that everyone can see what you're doing. And we'll see you. We don't have any plans for next month yet. If anybody is interested in anything particular or is willing to do a tutorial about something, please contact me or Joyce or Anne Marie. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I hope you have a good night. I'm going to unmute you all, maybe. I don't know how to do it.
Thank you, Kelley. That was great.
Thanks, Kelley.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kelley.
Hi, Tammy.
Thank
Stay cool, Kelley.
Thank you.
Love you, Kelley.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.